Welcome, dear viewers. Today we will explore the most profound philosophical concept that is existentialism. Existentialism is like a mirror that reflects our own unique experience through life. It invites us to confront the biggest question who we are, what is the purpose of life, and to embrace the adventure of finding our own answer. As the influential philosopher Soren Kierkegaard once said, life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Existentialism encourages us to immerse ourselves in the richness of life and embrace its uncertainties. From niche exploration of human potential to Jean Paul Sartre's concept of bad faith and Beauvoir reflection on freedom to Albert Camus' investigation of the absurd, existential philosophers and thinkers have shaped our understanding of the human experience. In existentialism, life is not just a passive existence, it is a canvas on which we paint our own narratives. We are leaders of our own lives. At the heart of existentialism is a belief that we, as humans, are the master of our own destiny or the architect of our own life. This means we alone have a power to direct the course of our future. Existentialists argue that there is no master plan, no fate, and no God in heaven about making choices for us, not no God that make decision for us. Instead, we have complete freedom of choice. Some argue that existence precedes essence, or in a word, we are born without a purpose, and it is up to us to find meaning in life and make it happen. He also believed that we are completely responsible for our own actions. So, if things do not go to plan, we only have ourselves to blame. We were right. It is possible for man to snatch the world from the darkness of the absurdity. Soren Kierkegaard once said that life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. Existentialism encourages us to embrace the uncertainty of the future while learning from our own past experiences. From Kierkegaard passion to Nietzsche will to power, and from Jean Paul Sartre existence precede essence to Albert Camus absurdity of life, existentialist philosophers have provided profound insight into the human condition. Existence precedes essence. The catchphrase, often adopted by existentialists, is existence precedes essence. But what does this really mean? In order to understand, we need to look a philosophical school first founded by the Greek philosopher Aristotle called Essentialism. Aristotle argued that everything had an essence that defined its purpose in life. For example, a knife essence is a blade. It can take many different shapes, sizes, but the essence is still the same. Aristotle argues that a person or object's essence came before its existence. Religion propped up the importance of essentialism and the belief that God have designed us with a certain life purpose in mind, even before we were born. This belief system stayed in place for thousands of years, and it was not until the 19th century that thinkers started to question it. As existentialism reversed this belief system, arguing existence came first and it is up to us to find our own true essence, however difficult it might be. Sartre in Existentialism is a humanism essay. He said that what do we mean by saying that existence precedes essence? We mean that man first of all exists, encounter himself, search up in the world, and defines himself afterward. He will not be anything until later, and then he will be what he makes of himself. Thus, There is no human nature because there is no God to have a conception of it. Man simply is. Man is nothing else but that which he makes of himself. This is the first principle of existentialism. Authenticity. One of the central theme of existentialism is authenticity. It is about being true to ourselves, embracing our values, and living in accordance with our own convictions. Jean Paul Sartre once said that freedom is what we do with what's being done to you. This reminds us that while we cannot always control external circumstances, we have the freedom to respond to them in a way that aligns with our own true selves. Soren Kierkegaard emphasized on individual choices to Nietzsche will to power. Uh, these thinkers have all celebrated human freedom as a fundamental aspect of our existence. In existentialism, freedom is not just a privilege, it is profound responsibility. We are challenged to embrace the weight of our choices and to have ownership of consequences they bring. While freedom might have seemed like a liberating prospect to many, existentialist philosopher Jean Paul Sartre argued that it was also a terrifying prospect in a world so full of fear and uncertainty. Remember that war had recently torn society apart, so there was anxieties and uncertainties everywhere. Sartre wrote, man is condemned to be free because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. For some, having unmitigated freedom in the world was terrifying prospect, which gave rise to terms such as existentialist angst and existentialist crisis. These terms describe individuals who are overwhelmed by the enormity of the world and who struggle to find their place within it. Embracing freedom in existentialism means acknowledging the uncertainty and complexity of life. We are free to define our own values, finding meaning, our existence, our experience, and live authentically in accordance with our own inner conviction. Existentialism encourages us to seize the moment, to embrace the opportunities that freedom presents, and to recognize the potential for growth and self discovery that comes with living a life of choices and responsibility. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed exploring life in existentialism, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay curious, stay authentic, and keep seeking the wonder of life through the lens of existentialism.